just trying to think of all these old players, and can't help but think of people like Heartless, the Thunderstruck player back on ESR back in the 2010s. So just going through all these old memories in my mind right now, back of the times, and oh, I've missed it, but yeah,
Life goes on.
life indeed does go on.
Yeah, I actually really did not. Yeah, I completely missed Quake 3, Quake Live. I was yeah, doing my school stuff and so during, and I also hated it actually as a Quake 2 player.
Oh, yeah.
So I actually switched to Counter-Strike, but I'm mostly focused on single player games. Actually, as soon as the beta from Quake Champions was announced, I jumped back in. But in between that, I just finished school, made sure I got a job.
Yeah, no, I mean, I came in, like, made my account, I think 2011, but I only really started playing 2012. So 2012 to 2014 were, like, my big years where I was playing a lot in QL. So that's, like, the era I know pretty much the most about. Pretty much, like, Face It and late, what was it called? The other cup. Oh my god, the one that was before Face It. Can't even, 125 FPS and Zotax and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and there were also clan-based cups, right?
Yeah,
but maybe that wasn't really the Aussie scene.
No, there were a few people that did ODCs from time to time. I mean, I ran a few. 4SG obviously ran some, but people would just like bring them up whenever they wanted, kind of sporadically, every weekend or so, or every weekend they felt like running one. Someone would often like put one up, and you'd get more players sometimes than others, but it wasn't really that huge here, especially when I played.
Yeah, I played a lot of Quake 2 deathmatch actually in a clan, but yeah, I wasn't really aware of that there was a huge pro scene actually. I just found out after. Well, Quake Champions started, and then I got to view some streams of Zoot, right? And then I followed that, and then I saw the legendary Quake 3 matches. But yeah, I'm really actually a bit bummed out that I completely missed out on the Quake 3 and Quake Live area.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was a bit too young back then. I only just turned 26, so missed out on like Quake 3, but enjoyed late Quake Live for better or worse. I mean, it's fun to get nostalgic over, and it was great, but obviously it's much bigger now with QC's leagues, and all the tournaments there are much bigger. But I mean, I really enjoyed the game a lot, and it's always fun to watch and play from time to time still, but I'm not deluded about the fact that if from the perspective of what's bigger, I mean it's no question. I think today QC is probably a lot bigger, unfortunately.
Yeah, although it does not have the numbers. The show only like the viewers on Twitch are pretty nice, especially on the QPL streams. Like there are just like 4,000 people watching.
What?
But
Look, well, I saw the viewer number when I got on this, and I was psyched. I mean, that's not me, trying to joke at your expense or at anyone's expense or whatever. It's just like, fuck yeah. Well, sorry. 200 viewers. This is awesome. This is absolutely killing it for QL. You don't see that too often these days.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. Actually, I started this channel also because Well, I always have been a fan of the streams of Jahar and Zoot. But then Zoot, actually continued with his life, like finding a steady job. And also not really having a nice experience with like how Quake Champions was treated. So I just... well, for a while it was Lycorvinus, Jones, and me just doing the challengers on our own streams, because Zoot was not really doing it anymore, and it was always like, okay, I want to watch this tournaments, but there is no English stream anymore. So then we three decided we were doing it on our own stream, and then at some point we thought, why not combine our powers and just start one channel that is dedicated to Quake Champions, because there are tournaments being thrown, but no one is streaming those. And well, yeah, and we're existing a little bit more than a year, and it's been really great to show a lot of Quake Champions. But I'm also interested in Quake Live and Diabotical, and so it's great to have a day like this. Next Sunday, we are also probably going to do the Egg Well Played or something. That's a weekly tournament from Diabotical.
Nice. Yeah, well, I think that's a good thing. Like, obviously, as you said, as soon as you get a few people banded together and you start covering lots of competitions, or some competitions, you branch out and cover whatever you want to really cover and do the whole lot once you've got that. So, you know, it's always good to have English coverage, because for this kind of stuff, otherwise it's just going to be everyone tuning into the Russian stream, and they probably don't really get as much out of it, especially if they haven't played or watched the game before, don't know the maps. It becomes a lot harder to follow. Or, you know, Quake Live's a lot more than QC, is a lot more... But you have to be very methodical in Quake Live, I feel like, whereas QC, if you get the right engagement, it can just go your way and you can win, whereas in Quake Live, you might, you know, have a good engagement, but be behind in your positioning and stack, and you'll still die, you know? You still need to be positioned well, and, you know, even if they get the engagement on you or starting off fighting you, it's just too much of an advantage to overcome, so it does become a lot more defensive in Quake Live, whereas Quake Champions becomes a lot more execution based, I think, and, you know, there's pros and cons to it. I certainly wasn't a fan when I started, but I'm kind of over that.
Yeah, but like in the beginning, I understand that it was really a bit of a bad game. Like it run not that well, and the game mechanics were just like all the...
Oh, it was really cheesy. It was like you could just orb someone, or, you know, you got BJ and you just used your ult and killed someone.
But it looked really cool. Like, but if you played it for a few weeks, then it just...
It's frustrating.
Yeah, like I like you were dueling, and then someone said, "Sorry that I fragged you with the orb." Yeah.
I mean, I was a very patient player in Quake Live, in the sense that I could not get rustled very easily. But Quake Champions, like, I mean, they're keeping in mind I took a few years break, so my attitude probably changed as well. I was probably way worse behaved, but that game would make me fucking mad. It would just make me so angry. So angry, and every new champion was like Death Knight, and you just die, you know, from one press of the ult, and obviously that's changed now. But you know, like I don't tune in too much, but whenever I do, I enjoy it a lot more than.
But the sad thing is actually like the QPL works, right, because they can choose the maps, ban maps, remove champions, but the public queue is still like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like yeah.
I mean, you can still get orb, like, or is it? You can still get orb, right? Or is it just
but the orb is like 100 damage if you throw it at someone plus 50 plus 25 go through damage, and I think if you do an inside out, it's an extra something. So it's really a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like if you do that and it's kind of equal stack, you pretty much just kill them anyway.
To especially against the light.
Yeah.
But the problem is there's not enough money coming into to justify any big change. But it would be really awesome if like the duo queue, if you actually can see what is being picked before you pick your own champion, because basically now it's just you need to play your comfort pick or the meta on the map because your opponent is going to do that. So like the the TDM on the small maps. You have to embrace the bullshit, but on the other hand, like, it can also be really fun.
Yeah. I mean, I really loved 2v2 back when I played QC.
Awesome,
like, I mean, I hated the duel, but even back then, like, I had to admit, I actually really enjoyed 2v2. I had a lot of fun playing that. It was quite funny because me and a guy who's gone off to Poland now, I don't know if you'd know of him, called Lure. Yeah. Nice guy. Like, we'd play 2v2 and like there was no one playing in OCE, so we got so high up. I think we're the highest team in OCE by quite a margin that we thought, well, we need to play. Like, we're so high up. So we just started queuing on NA, and I think we got so high up on that as well. Like, we kept pushing rating that we got up to like top 20, and we looked at all the flags, and I think we're the top there wasn't an NA team over us, so we started joking, saying we're like the top 2v2 team in NA, and memeing about that back in the back before Kwachi, back in the 4SG Discord back then. But it was such a fun time. That was really fun. Even if I didn't like the duel, even I enjoyed that. But,
that is a big difference. Like with in Quake 2, you really could not play like ping 200 plus.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think it's only Quake Champions that's a bit like that, and Diabolical, I think, as well. Like, probably not to the same extent, but you know, players like Fears can make it work, but that's about it. I mean, 200's obviously not doable, but even 100 or your 150s just used to be unheard of in every other game, really.
True. Yeah, I remember like like my first internet, and there was no client-side hit detection, right? So you really had to lead your shots depending on how high your ping was. So yeah. And in Quake 2, the rockets were already slow, so.
Oh, not this again.
Please, alt tab.
Oh god. Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they are loading the other map. The stream just stopped for me. But yeah, we have a bit of a trip down memory lane. But yeah, Quake Champions actually has a really unlucky... Like, the decisions weren't that great, but it was also really unlucky how everything went, right? Like, the free-to-play announcement on... I think it was like some kind of big... the electronic something show. Like, we had a big influx of players, but the game just... yeah, only run when you had a NASA computer, right? It's
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
so I think like all like you see in the Steam charts that we have a really but I think most people only got to start the game and then it crashed.
Well, I remember taking. It took a while to load in, didn't it? Like the first time, like
Yeah,
when
that
you
also.
launched the game, it took quite a while.
But
You're going like, what the
yeah.
hell is going on?
But from that moment, it almost took them half a year to optimize the game. Like
Yeah.
every patch they promised, yeah, now it's fixed, Okay, and then we had a bump every patch again. it just
Yeah.
and still nowadays, like on Reddit, you almost see it's not daily anymore, but every week, like someone wants to run the game, but it just doesn't start or the mouse doesn't work. So there's still something not really optimal about the game.
Yeah.
And that worries me a bit, right? Like the but it's also the problem of free-to-play people, right? They don't have the best computers around.
Well, like if you're free to play and you kind of, if you spend money on a game and you don't like it, you still feel compelled to like try it out a bit more because you've invested in it. It's kind of like, well, I didn't just waste my money, did I? So you might get your mind turned around even if it runs badly at first, but if you're free to play and it immediately runs terribly, you're just going to be like, well, forget this, like not worth my time, I think. So that might be a part of it too.